to my channel, Style by Shada. I know it has been some months since I posted my last video, but so many things has happened and there has been so many changes in my life which did not allow me to provide you with quality content, and I did not want to just create just another video. So here we are a couple of months later, and I have to say I have moved, I got a new job, and I'm sharing with you one of the very, I would say, my life's best experiences that I got the opportunity to experience at my new job is to travel to Bogota, Colombia for 2 weeks for a business trip. And I have to say that was a huge challenge for me because I had to manage to pack for 2 weeks into one little carry-on. So you can just imagine the pain I was going through. But now stay tuned to see what I packed for this 2 weeks trip. Now, going to what I actually packed for this long 2 weeks business trip. Now, before you pack for any business trip, take into consideration the climate and the temperature and the season that you're traveling to the destination, because that is really going to help you to know what to pack and how to pack. Now, Bogota is 2,500 above sea level, so the temperature kind of stays stable and it's the same throughout the year. And during the day, the temperature could vary, and it could be, let's say, like 8 Celsius, and then suddenly it could go up to 25 Celsius, and you may actually encounter all 4 seasons in one day. So make sure you pack layers. That's definitely one of the key things to pack if you're traveling to Bogota, Colombia. Now, for the initial part of my packing, what I always do is I always start with my bottoms first, and then I build my outfits around that. So for this particular trip, because it was 2 weeks long, now I started with my bottoms first. So obviously I went with my basic black pants, followed by one colored pant, and again one colored skirt, because I didn't want to have 2 black bottoms, if you know what because then the outfits are going to look the same. So make sure that your bottoms have got different colors. So if you went with a black pencil skirt, make sure then you go for a different color different color pants, so you do not have the same 2 bottom colors. So this is where I started. This was the very core beginning of it all. And because I wanted the majority of my pieces to be black, I decided to go with black jeans for casual versus blue jeans, because I felt I could actually match it back to most of my pieces here, and also the shoes that I was going to carry. And obviously my casual velour sweatpants, what I call them, because you do need them as well when you're traveling for such a long time or in a short time, because actually I wore this on my way back. So once I had my bottoms, then I went to my tops. Now for your tops, you want to divide them in between your formal and then the casual. Now the way I kind of started was with the layers. Make sure you carry layers with you, especially when you're traveling, let's say during fall or spring, because again the temperature changes and you want to be able to layer. So, take off and put on things according to the temperature. So I took 2 cardigans with me, and the reason why I took the gray is because I had the gray skirt and it could look like a suit. So as you can see, 2 cardigans for me, and so these were my formal. And then this was my casual, and I took 1 black sweater. And another sweater that I took was a short sleeve crew neck sweater, because I think it's such a great, and you can see it works with all 3 bottoms. So the winter tops are always the ones that you can actually match back to all 3 bottoms. So keep that in mind whenever you're packing. Now for blouses and other tops, again, I decided to go for black and something really pretty in case you're going for, let's say, an evening out and you have more, maybe senior managers there, so you want to make sure that you're also well dressed for the evening and there's no time to change, because trust me, that does happen. Make sure that you carry tops that you can easily also wear during the evening. So I took this one with me. As you can see, again, I can match it with all 3 bottoms. Then I took a bit of a print to kind of liven up, and this one works with the 2 bottoms, not necessarily with this particular skirt, but definitely with this. And you could also match it with the jeans. And one just a simple casual cotton top, and again, this you can match it back to all the 3 bottoms, and you can also wear it with your jeans. Now, being a layer person, I always carry this white H&M like super thin cotton shirt with me every travel I take. I love it as a layering piece because it's thin, but at the same time it adds style to what you're wearing. I also get my extra layer, and I don't have to worry about it because I feel sometimes more tailored shirts, they become very uncomfortable when you wear, especially for me when I wear like a sweater on top. So I prefer to wear this one because it's thin, it's casual, it's semi-formal, so I kind of always throw this into my suitcase regardless. And this is my go-to shirt and my go-to layer, especially for this trip when I was going out. So I would wear the jeans, this, and I would have the sweater on top as a layer. Obviously, talking about layers, you also need to take with you some thinner layers, and I love my tank tops. However, for tank tops, you should, especially if you're going on a business trip where you also have to change to go for to wear something more casual when you're stepping out with your colleagues for walks around the city and going to restaurants and so forth. So try to take with you camisoles that are a little bit more on the formal side, but you can also easily match them back to jeans. So these were the two camis that I packed with me. One that is silk and the other one has got the mesh detail on it, so it looks really chic and nice. So during the day you can easily match it with your pants and throw a cardigan on top, and in the evening again just put it together with your jeans and change your shoes and again put a cardigan on and you're all ready to go, or sweater on top and you're ready to go. Now I know this sounds really funny, but I actually did take my down jacket with me. This is a super thin down jacket that I have, and trust me, you really need to wear this in the evenings, especially when we went up to the Maserati. Well, it gets a little bit cold up there, which is the old monastery. It's additional 1,200 meters above the sea level from where you already are. So yes, it does get pretty chilly in the evenings. So do carry something warm with you. And the reason why I packed this particular one is in case, you know, it would rain. So this was it really was the perfect layer to carry. One thing I always carry with me on a business trip is either one or two black dresses. Now I have got the more formal casual dress over there, and I also carried one that is slightly more cocktail in case an event would happen and you need to dress up for that particular event. Well, on my business trip it didn't happen, but it's always better to have something than not to have something. And for that, this BCBG dress that I have is actually jersey, so when you pack it, it becomes a really small piece. So make sure the one that you carry as that extra dress is something that you can quickly pack and easily pack and wrinkle free, right? Once this is not going to wrinkle, you don't have to send it for steaming or anything. So there you go. Now, if you're not a dress person, then I would say the black pants or any of the pants that you carry with you, preferably I would say the pants, make sure that it is a suit set, because this again will help you to dress up for a more formal occasion in the evening in case there is an event that is happening with senior management or so forth, for let's say cocktails and so on. You want to be presentable. Don't forget, this is still a business trip and you still have to conduct yourself professionally at all times. And now to accessories. Now, I love shoes, and for every trip, I really have to control myself to not carry way too many. So I have to say, to go for a 2 weeks business trip with only 3 pairs of shoes and my slippers, you know, I really did a good job. Now, the reason I only packed 3 shoes here is again because shoes take space and they're also heavy, and especially because I only try to carry my carry-on on and off the plane. I try to limit what I also carry. Now for shoes, again, I went with a pair of joggers. Now if I was going for, let's say, a much shorter business trip, I would not take the joggers with me. But because we were there over the weekend, that's the only reason I took the joggers with me. Now for casual shoes, this is what I would actually change into in the evenings, and this is what I wore most of the weekends during the day. I took a little bit more of an edgy, more to elevate my style during the weekend because everything else was so simple. Like, you know, just black jeans and a, you know, plain black sweater and so forth. So this would elevate my style a little bit and kind of not look boring. But with that said, these were the only shoes I took with me, and that was it, and also the black pumps that I'm wearing. Now for handbags, I only took 2. So one that is a small one, and this one was actually a last minute purchase here at Aldo, and I have to say I'm really, really impressed by it. And because there were so many talks also before going to Bogota about be careful, people are going to rob you, this and that. And I have to say, I was maybe lucky, but I did not encounter any of that. And I would say just any other big city you travel to, you need to be wise and you need to be alert, and you should not go to neighborhoods that are not safe, especially by yourself. So don't put yourself at risk. That's the bottom line of it. So the reason why I chose this was because it had this belted feature at the back of it, so you could belt it against your waist, like if you would go out and so forth. But honestly, I did not use it that way. I would just simply carry it as a crossbody bag. And why I like this is you could remove the tassel and make it casual, or you could leave the tassel if you wanted to look more dressy. So I really, really like this bag, and this has really become my weekend bag now. And obviously my infamous office bag. I love this bag because it has 2 compartments, and this I also carry with me onto the plane. And this so walking into the plane, I literally just had this and the carry-on, and this one was actually inside the carry-on. I did not carry that. Well, belts, guilty. I actually took 2, and I took a nude one, and I also took a gray one. And I have to say, the gray one I did not use that much. I ended up using the nude one the most, so I really didn't need to pack the second one. So there you go. One lesson learned. One belt is more than enough. And of course, my love for statement jewelry. So I ended up only carrying 1 statement jewelry that would actually work back with all of these pieces. So 1 piece of statement jewelry is more than enough, and that's all I packed. As you saw, it is very much possible to pack a 2 weeks business trip, both your formal as well as your leisure wear or casual wear, into 1 carry-on. Because if I managed to do it, I'm pretty sure you can manage to do it. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And I do love to hear your comments and your experience if you've had any business trip or trip down to Bogota, because I really love the place and I definitely like to go back there. Have a good one, and see you all next time.